I didn't have a lot of encouragement in the beginning. But driving the taxi, one day I get sent to CBS Television City on Fairfax. I parked my taxi in the parking lot, and I'm there. And on my way in, I see five guys who could have been Juan, Jesus, Pablo, Pancho. I had this agent who was very slow. How slow was he? He would send me up for parts that had already been cast. So I go up there, and Marilyn Budgeon, this is historic in my mind, it was so valuable. She says, I'm so sorry, but the part that you're here for has already been cast. And I said, okay, and I'm on my way out. Now, why she said this, I haven't any idea. She said, well, excuse me, Mr. Kopell, as long as you're here, excuse me, would you like to read for Pablo? Now I get so frustrated. I said, okay. Okay, I will read for Pablo. I had no idea how to do this. A Latino, a Mexican. I said, well, Jack Parr has a Jose Melis, Jack Parr, a piano player. And Jose Melis is going around. So I said, okay, I'll do them. I didn't know I could. I had no idea, but I will take up the valuable time of this producer. I go in, Buzz Blair was the producer. I go in there, and I nail it. I didn't know if I could, and I nail it. So I discovered I can do accents. In those days, you could do accents. Today, you cannot. This is the difference in television between the early 60s and today. So the director was extremely flamboyant, Herb Kenwith. And I said, I must have come to me at night. I said, I will put together Herb Kenwith's personality and this Pablo character I'm playing. And I developed this routine that really got me moving. At the same time, I got a different agent, Hal Schaefer, who had more chutzpah than any human being deserves to have. So he takes me out to Desilu Cahuenga one day. He said, come on, let's go. He said, you'll be able to show him your routines. And I'd worked with Maurice Schwartz too, and I developed a little routine from him. So Hal Schaefer, he sees Sheldon Leonard, who was an actor. He used to be an actor who talked like this. He became a producer along with Danny Thomas. And they developed I Spy. They developed Andy Griffith Show, Mayberry. That little studio had more successful shows, the Dick Van Dyke Show, Hogan's Heroes, in that little tiny place. So Hal comes up to Sheldon Leonard, grabs him by the arm, and he says, Sheldon Leonard, Mr. Leonard, you got to see Bernie Kopell, blah, 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 blah. And Sheldon Leonard has his arm like this, and he says, do I have to see him now? So now he's amused rather than pissed. And he says, okay. He says, go up to my office. I got to see some dailies. I'll be up there in about 40 minutes. So I go up there. I find his office with Hal Schaefer. Now, Hal Schaefer had a little personality something. Because when we would go to lunch, I would leave a tip, and out of the corner of my I would see Hal Schaefer pick up the tip and put it in his pocket. And I said, oh, gee, this is embarrassing. So we're in Sheldon Leonard's opulent office at Desilu Cahuenga. And I said, Hal, stay away from that Emmy, please. He's going to miss it if you take it. Just leave it alone. So he did, and I'm waiting there, and I'm shivering. So Sheldon Leonard comes in, and he says, go ahead. And I did the both little routines, and I got the Danny Thomas Show, Make Room for Daddy, as a result of that. I said, wow, this is great. So one day, Hal says, let's go to Universal and bust into offices. I said, Hal, this is making me very nervous. He said, no, we'll bust into offices and we'll see what happens. So we go into Jack Arnold's office, and Jack Arnold throws us out. He says, I'll call security. He says, get out. And Schaefer says, you can't throw us out. We're leaving. Okay, so we go into Bob Edmondson. Bob Edmondson was a casting guy. So he said, Bernie, go and show him the pilot. Show him this. We start with the pilot. And Bob Edmondson says, hold it, stop. He said, don't go anywhere. And he calls the producer of the Jack Benny show. He says, I think I got your Latino shooting guy. Can we bring him over? So we run over to the producer's office. I do the routine, and boom, I get the Jack Benny show as the talking Rinaldi brother. I am the least important part of this act. My brother is the fastest human being in the world. I'm going to shoot at him, and he, with his amazing agility and grace, will dodge the bullets. It was a brilliant routine. And it goes on, one bullet and a drum roll, another bullet, two bullets, and then I empty my 6 guns in the direction of my brother. And eventually, and there's a cutout of a human form behind the guy. I empty my 6 guns at my brother, and he stands there for a moment and then falls down dead. And Jack, with that amazing timing that Jack Benny had, he walks over to the dead body, supposedly, and the camera follows him and look at his face, and he says, well, I guess they just weren't ready for the big time. And at the end of the show, I come on with another guy with a ballet costume and a cape. I said, and Jack says, who's this? I said, my other brother. I'm shooting the whole family. So this was a beginning